All right, APE students, Mr. Adair here again. I just want to say real quick, I'm going to be making a ton of videos during distance learning constantly for the three different classes I teach. So if I make a mistake in a video or I look disheveled or anything, not just 100% perfection and professional, just, bear with me that I'm doing my best and making a ton of videos constantly. So I kind of just keep them going. Anyhow, this video is going to be talking about our very first unit, and it will provide you an example of how this course is going to go for the most part. Now, with that being said, many things can change throughout the year, and if something's not working, we'll get rid of it. If something's working great, we'll add to it. I'm pretty flexible and just want to make sure we're moving fast enough to get everything taken care of, and you're learning as much as you can about environmental science because there is a lot of information, and we'll get into that. Okay, so for week one, you already have stuff you're gonna get going on right away. So I'm gonna go into the week one folder here, September 8th through the 11th. The very first thing you need to do, I want to get to know you a little bit better. And there's a name tent assignment. There's also a video that goes with that to how to make your name tent. It's on Google and it's pretty simple. It should not take you very long, but at least I can put a name to a face and get to know you a little bit better. So make sure you watch that video, and this will be worth points. So do your name tent by the end of the week. Okay, how we're going to do this. Assignment 2, I just put it as assignment 2 this week. I mean, it's really kind of the main assignment, actually. And we're going to do this course based on the different units. And starting with unit 0, it's kind of a precursor to when we get into the main units, but it'll give you a little bit of background information. Um, we will have a total of 10 units counting unit 0. Okay, so already this week there's going to be a task for you to do. And where you can find your tasks for the week, it'll be in the distance learning pacing calendar, unit 0. And the 55 means like 55-minute period classes because that's what we have at Como, even though it's different with distance learning. So you can go to this Word document, pull this up here, and you can look at this on your own. But the information highlighted in like that salmon color, that orange color, is what you need to do for week number 1. Okay, so essentially, how we break this down is um, there'll be a packet that you'll have to do, which I'll go talk about next, and the packet will be based on the PowerPoints that I've made, and in the PowerPoints there's videos and things like that. Okay, for this first week, you need to get through the first 3 PowerPoints. As you notice, class number 1, which will be Tuesday. I'm not gonna probably keep these in order of date exactly because it will change. So just keep in mind the big picture and when the overall packet is due, which I'll talk about in a second. If you feel like it's confusing what I'm saying right now, just don't stress out. It will become clear as we work through it. And if you have questions, you can email, call, and stop in my office hours, things like that. Okay, so power packet pages 1 and 2, and go over the first PowerPoint. That's what you should be doing today, the first day, Tuesday. Wednesday, you're going to learn about Tragedy of the Commons. You're going to hopefully complete pages 3 and 4 in the packet and do those activities. Thursday, Scientific Method, pages 5 and 6 in the packet, which is another PowerPoint, PowerPoint 2. And then Friday, Collapse of Societies, and do those activities, which is another PowerPoint for a little bit in the packet. Okay, the packet is kind of based on me going through the PowerPoints like we would in person. So because we're distance learning, it's not ideal. I'm either gonna post the PowerPoint itself, or sometimes I'll change the PowerPoint into a PDF that does not show my personal teacher notes on there. In other cases, I'll just leave the teacher notes on, and you can look at those, and that can help you out too. In addition, I think I'm going to make videos that go with every PowerPoint. And so if you don't like reading the PowerPoints, you can watch my short videos and go through the packet that way. So you might be asking yourself, now what are we talking about the packet? I'll get to that in a moment. If you notice though, this whole unit 0, if you scroll down, has a total of seven class times, and then we'll have our exam. So I'm gonna give a study day next week, I believe. But our first exam will be next week, Friday, and I'll talk about that more later. And every week, the things that are highlighted will show you what you need to do that week. So now, this is where your maturity and responsibility are going to need to come into play, because your juniors and seniors, let's say, for example, on Wednesday, you need to write a paper and you're swamped with work. You just cannot get to AP Environmental Science that day. That's not the end of the world. I'm giving you the whole big picture here. It's just that when the packet is due, for example, next week, Thursday, this packet will be due, and that's written on your assignment on the packet. Everything needs to be done. Now, you should not save that till the night before, because you will not be able to do it. You need to follow my day-to-day guidelines on the work that you need to do every day. But I'm saying if something throws off your daily schedule and you have to get to it at the weekend or whatever, that's fine, as long as you get everything done when you need to get done. Yes, this is kind of an experiment for everyone, this distance learning 2.0. It's going to be more intense than last spring, and you need to stay on top of your game. I'm in real life, if I was teaching you in person, I'd give you guys a lot of these like sorts of speeches about how you can be a better person and a better student. But in all honesty, I really need you to kind of look within and decide what kind of student you want to be, because the work needs to come from like an internal motivation, because there's nothing I can do that's gonna, make you do this work. I will give you a grade based on the work that you do and the scores that you get. However, the grade in this class, it's not the most important thing in the world, in my opinion. I think the most important thing is that you learn about the environment and what humans are doing to the environment, and learn about these scientific concepts. And that is on you. The information will be there. It's how hard are you willing to work to get that information. So with that being said, let's go look at the very first packet. We're going to go back into the first week, Unit 0 packet. Now this is an assignment, and it's a PDF, and so you're just gonna have this PDF open on your iPad, and you can save it as you go. You're gonna wanna, let's see here, where are we at? Come on. Here we go. Okay, here it is. You're gonna wanna download this to your iPad, open it in Notability, because you'll be writing all over this. Now these packets are gonna be worth 100 points each, I think I've decided, and that 100 points is worth 20% of your grade. So you just need to do the best that you can. So if you follow the pacing guide, for example, you're gonna watch the first PowerPoint. Other things that I've done, these are all vocab words that you'll need to know for this very first unit, Unit 0. But so Tuesday, day 1, you're gonna do PowerPoint 1. You're gonna watch an introductory video, and you're going to also look at a bunch of these headlines I'm gonna show you. But I want you to watch that introductory video, and I want you to think about this acronym HIPCO here: Habitat Destruction, Invasive Species, Pollution, Population Growth, Climate Change, Overexploitation of Resources, and try to maybe put in some of the examples you see in the video here. This is kind of just a brainstorm session. All right, I'm kind of getting into the details now. I don't want to do that. I'm going to do that for a different video. But so as you go through the first PowerPoint, I think you're just actually going to end after this survey and go through that PowerPoint, I believe. And we'll start looking at Tragedy of the Commons the next day, I think. But I guess the point is this: every day you'll have stuff to do in this packet related to those PowerPoints, and you just need to keep up with it. Some things I've crossed out because they're like in class things that we would have done, but it's hard to do with distance learning. And instead of changing every single thing and the way the pages are, I decided just to cross them out with red. So if it's crossed out, just you don't have to do that. Scientific method, go scroll down. I'm scrolling all the way down. You see some other things crossed out. So this packet happens to have 20 pages, and that's what is basically going to be due by Thursday next week. And I'll continue to put out PowerPoints related to this packet as we go. I don't want to put out every single PowerPoint right away because that may feel a bit overwhelming. Okay, so kind of a long story short is that there will be PowerPoints that you need to look at independently. I'm also going to make videos of the PowerPoints of me talking over them. And you need to do the packet before the exam. You might ask, you might be asking, are there quizzes, Mr. Adair? Yes, there will be quizzes. We're going to start off a little bit slow and see how this goes, but there will be quizzes. We all also need to register on AP Classroom, which I'll talk about at a different time. So I hope this video is helpful as you navigate your Schoology folders for AP Environmental Science. I have posted everything I believe you will need to have available for this week. PowerPoint, point 1, point 2, which happens to be in a PDF on that one, point 3, Tragedy of the Commons case studies, and then the scientific thinking reading, which you'll need to have for the packet as well. All right. So I'll stop there. I'll leave it at that. And as we go, I'll touch base with hopefully every single one of you, and we'll make sure you are prepared to do well in this class and all that. You need to work really hard, and you need to stay on top of it. Okay? I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, and be in touch.